Attention passionate Philadelphia, EAGLES. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC East and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Philadelphia Eagles' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Philadelphia Eagles fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with YOUR, FRINDS and Philadelphia, EAGLES. Let's get to the news now, folks. I think we all know that the start of the 2025 NFL season has been quite a roller coaster for the Philadelphia Eagles. At least so far, they've been able to keep that perfect record 3-0, but let's be honest, it hasn't exactly been smooth sailing. The wins have come, yes, but the manner in which they've been achieved has left some questions hanging in the air. The team looks good, but there are clear areas to improve if they want to make that deep playoff run, and more importantly, defend their Super Bowl title from last season. One of the most glaring issues, and I mean glaring, is their secondary. That's the part of the defense that needs urgent attention, especially as we look ahead to what promises to be a demanding schedule. The past defense, for all its efforts, has been somewhat inconsistent. They've allowed 557 yards through the air in just 3 games. That's not terrible, but it's enough to raise eyebrows, especially when you consider the kind of offenses they're going to face as the season progresses. The Eagles' overall team defense has been decent, giving up about 21 points per game, but they need to tighten that up if they want to stay at the top of the NFC. That's where the news gets interesting, because the Eagles' front office, led by Howie Roseman, is always looking for ways to upgrade and add pieces that can help this team sustain success. One of the biggest stories right now is the potential addition of Gardner to the Eagles' roster. Yes, that's Gardner, the same player who's been a key part of the secondary in recent years, and who helped them reach the Super Bowl in 2022, and then clinched that coveted Super Bowl ring in 2024. This guy has been a difference maker when healthy, a true ball hawk, and someone who can bring that extra intensity and experience to the Eagles' backfield. But here's the catch. He's currently a free agent, after the Texans surprisingly released him following just 3 games into this season. That's not something you see every day, especially for a player of CJ's caliber and talent. Now, why did the Texans release Gardner? Well, reports suggest it was due to some off-field issues, which, without going into too much speculation, seems like a manageable problem for a team that knows how to handle players with strong personalities. The fact that he's now available on the market has sent shockwaves through the NFL, especially for the Eagles fans who remember how instrumental he was during their Super Bowl winning season in 2024. And let's be honest, if there's one team that can bring CJ back into the fold and manage those off-field issues, it's the Eagles. They've shown in the past that they're capable of handling players with complex backgrounds and turning that into team success. This potential signing makes sense on so many levels. For one, it addresses a clear need, improving the safety position. Yes, the Eagles drafted Andrew Mukuba, who has looked promising so far, and Reed Blankenship has been reliable. But the depth behind them isn't quite enough to give fans and analysts peace of mind. Sidney Brown, another safety on the roster, has shown flashes but still needs more consistency. Bringing Gardner back would not only bolster the safety position, but also provide that veteran leadership and playmaking ability that can be relied upon in high-pressure situations. And let's not forget, CJ's familiarity with the Eagles' system is a huge advantage. He knows the coaching staff, the defensive schemes, and most importantly, he knows what it takes to win in Philadelphia. His previous stints with the team, first in 2022 and then during their Super Bowl victory in 2024, proved that he's capable of elevating the secondary when it counts the most. Howie Roseman, always the shrewd GM, will recognize that signing CJ again could be one of those low-risk, high-reward moves that define a season. But it's not just about filling a roster spot. It's about reinforcing a team that's hungry for another Super Bowl ring. The Eagles have looked good, but they need to build consistency, especially on defense. The addition of Gardner could be that game changer, providing the stability and playmaking ability they need. And with the division rivals, like the Dallas Cowboys and the New York Giants, always lurking and ready to pounce, the Eagles know they can't afford to leave any stone unturned. Looking at the bigger picture, this move also signals how serious the Eagles are about defending their title. They're not content with just a good start, they want to dominate. The secondary is a key part of that strategy. If they can get Gardner Johnson back, it could turn their defensive unit into one of the most formidable in the league. It would also send a message to the NFC East that the Eagles are not only back but are stronger than ever, ready to take on any challenge. Of course, nothing is guaranteed in the NFL, and there are always hurdles. CJ's off-field issues, the team's salary cap situation, and the chemistry of integrating a player back into a locker room that's already clicking are all factors to consider. But if there's one franchise that has mastered the art of managing these kinds of situations, it's Philadelphia. They've done it before, and I believe they're prepared to do it again if the opportunity presents itself. This potential signing also brings up questions about what the rest of the team's defense will look like moving forward. The Eagles' front seven has been solid, but the secondary is the weak link that needs reinforcement. Adding Gardner Johnson could allow them to rotate players more effectively and give the coaching staff more flexibility in defensive schemes. It's about creating a defense that can adapt and shut down the best offenses in the league, and CJ's ball-hawking skills could be just what they need to turn the tide. Now, fans, I want to pause here for a second. If you want the YouTube algorithm to keep recommending the latest Philadelphia Eagles news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick, and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now, let's continue with the big reveal. The Eagles are clearly exploring all options to make their roster as strong as possible, and bringing Gardner Johnson back could be the move that propels them even further into the postseason and possibly back to the Super Bowl. It's a strategic move, one that shows how much the team values experience, talent, and familiarity in their quest for another championship. Looking ahead, if Gardner Johnson does rejoin the Eagles, it will be a major storyline to follow. Fans will be eager to see how quickly he can gel with the team, how his off-field issues are managed, and whether his presence on the field will be the boost the secondary needs. The Eagles' coaching staff will have a lot to work with, but if history is any guide, they'll handle it deftly and make the right call. Remember, this team has a winning culture, a proven track record of overcoming adversity, and a roster that's built for postseason success. And now, Philadelphia Eagles fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Philadelphia Eagles. Do you think Gardner Johnson returning is the move that will push the Eagles closer to another Super Bowl? Or do you believe there are still gaps that need filling? Whatever you think, I want to hear it. Plus, don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Philadelphia Eagles news. We're in this together, and the buzz around this potential signing is just heating up. This team has a lot of fight left, and if they pull the trigger on bringing CJ back, fans can expect even more excitement heading into the heart of the season. So, as we watch this story develop, keep your eyes on the Eagles. They're always up to something, always pushing to be better, and this move, if it happens, could be just what they need for that final push. It's an exciting time to be a Philadelphia Eagles fan, and I can't wait to see how it all unfolds. Thanks for tuning in, and as always, go Birds!